you're absolutely right. But the other thing that comes into play there, of course, is the players themselves. And there have been some fabulous servants of England and Wales cricket, and quite a lot of them are names that you almost don't realise who they were and what they were. And I've picked out a small handful that I just want to name check. The first of them being Maurice Turnbull, who was a superb player for Glamorgan and for England. He captained Glamorgan, played for Glamorgan from 1924, took over as captain from 1930. From 1930 to 39, he pulled them together as a team. They were fractured, they were demotivated. He actually did what Clive Lloyd then did for the West Indies, of pulling together all the disparate factions, all these players who could, struggling to really see a future in the game, and turned them into a potent team. He played for England. He's, I think, unique in playing cricket for England from 1930 to 36 and playing rugby for Wales.
Well, he wouldn't have got away with playing rugby for England, would he? Being Cardiff born, I don't think he'd have got away with that.
Sadly, he was killed. He was a major in the Welsh Guards, killed in action in Normandy in 1944. But he's kind of the forerunner to a whole stream of fabulous players. Jeff Jones, fast bowler for Glamorgan, played his career cut short by injury. But in 1965, Jeff Jones, playing for Glamorgan against Leicester, took 5 wickets before conceding a single run.
Wow.
Ended up with 8 for 11, which must, I think, have been his career best score.
You'd like to think so.
I'd fear for the batting side if that wasn't his best figures.
Yeah, blimey.
But go on to Tony Lewis, batsman and captain for Glamorgan and for England, captained England on debut, and of course then subsequently a superb career as a broadcaster, one of the vital voices of Test Match Special. Pat Pocock, who actually played for Surrey but was Glamorgan born, spit bowler, played for England 1968 all the way through to 1985, so it's an amazingly long career overall. You can't go through Welsh cricket without mentioning Alan Jones, Glamorgan, left-handed opening batsman, captained Glamorgan for several seasons, and distinguished by opening the batting for England in the Rest of the World tests, in one of the Rest of the World tests in 1970. He didn't have a particularly happy game, but he won and absolutely treasured that England cap until the ICC then reclassified those games as not being official test matches. And in 2020, finally, ECB actually returned his test cap to him. He's the only person in the world that this has happened to, but he can actually still claim to have a test cap.
That's lovely. Lovely story.
Hugh Morris played 3 tests for England in 1991. Of course, Greg Thomas, the fast bowler, played for England in 1986. Very famous story. He attempted to sledge Viv Richards after Viv Richards had played and missed several balls in a row in a game against Somerset. And so he says to Richards, "It's red, it's round, it's about this big," just in case you're wondering what it looks like. And so Richards' next ball, smash, ball out of the ground, into the river. And he turns around to Greg Thomas and he says, "Greg, you know what it looked like, now you go and look for it." Steve Watkin, another fast bowler, played for England 91 to 93. Robert Croft, of course, spin bowler, played for Glamorgan from 1979 to 2003.
Wow.
And played for England 1996 to 2001. And of course, Simon Jones. Everybody remembers going back to 2005, the Ashes, part of the fast bowling quartet. He absolutely mastered reverse swing and played a pivotal role in that Ashes victory in that series. Of course, some horrible injuries that curtailed his career. But the other thing to remember about Simon Jones, of course, is that Jeff Jones, that back in the 1960s, Jeff Jones was his father.
Wow.
So it's a proper father and son story there, and I think that's a wonderful story.
That's lovely.
But I'm going to end with one more, which is going back to 1864 and an honorary Welshman. A 15-year-old W.G. Grace played as a guest for the South Wales Cricket Club, playing in the game against the Gentlemen of Sussex. He batted at number 3. He scored 170 at the age of 15, sharing a partnership of 188 for the second wicket. That's an annoying talent. We've all seen players like that, and we've wanted to sit on them because they make us old blokes look bad. But we might, no promises, but we might actually look a little bit more closely at that chap in the weeks to come.
No. Ian, that's been fantastic. I mean,
it's a bit of a gallop.
I know there's a lot to get through, but that hopefully gives people a flavour of how much history there is of cricket in Wales, and been fantastic, Ian, honestly. Again, I've really enjoyed that, and thank you so much.
Cheers.